Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Wednesday, December the 15th. And welcome to our video commentary. We're within 10 days of Christmas and 16 days of the New Year. So this is the exciting time of the season. We start counting it down. Well, one of the things about this Christmas that is not going to be any fun for anybody is inflation. And it's very interesting to watch the press secretary and some members of this administration explain inflation. And rather than just come right out and say, look, the country is suffering from inflation, we dislike it, and we are going to do something about it, we have a plan to do something about it, they come out and they start, for example, the press secretary yesterday was explaining the price of meat, and I have no idea what she's talking about. The same with President Biden. I mean, these people are either living in a fantasy or whoever's writing their talking points needs to, maybe they need to be replaced. But the reality is that inflation is number one in the country right now. It reminds me of that great line from the 1992 campaign, it's the economy, stupid. But right now, it's inflation, stupid. And everything else, frankly, is insignificant. Everything else is insignificant. Now, some of the other things happening are very significant, like China and Ukraine and Iran. I mean, those are significant things that we have to keep an eye on. But when the price of gas is $3 a gallon, and the price of meat is whatever it is, and the price of this is whatever it is, people are focusing on that, and they're looking to the administration for some kind of an explanation. You know, don't blame it on the meat packers or the meat manufacturers or whatever. Don't blame it on them. You know, give me something better than that than simply say, oh, the price of oil is up because the gasoline companies are cheating the American consumer, or the same with the price of meat. You know, that goes in one ear and out the other. That doesn't really explain anything. Now, I'm not saying it's easy to talk about inflation, especially the press secretary. I feel sorry for her many times because she has an impossible job. You know, when you're the press secretary, that's a difficult job to begin with. I'm sure you remember Sarah Huckabee Sanders when she had that job, and others who've had that job over time. It's a very difficult job because you're basically reading talking points that they give you in the morning. They say, look, if they ask you this question, you answer it this way, and so on. So it's a very difficult job. And in the case of this press secretary in the Biden administration, it's even made more difficult because you have a president who doesn't address the nation. You have a president who apparently doesn't think that we need to know what's going on with the economy. Now, my guess is that they don't have a clue, that this is simply a case of a problem they don't have a solution for. There is a solution for the inflation. We saw what happened in the early 1980s when interest rates went up and the unemployment rate went up to 12%, and that was a very tough time for anybody who remembers that. But it did fix the inflation problem. Now, whether this administration has the courage to do that, I don't know. But the truth is that inflation is number one in the country right now. Talk to anybody, and that's the only thing they're talking about. The price of gas, the price of meat, the price of tomato, the price of everything, especially as we're counting down to two of the most important holidays of the year, where people tend to buy a lot of food stuff, you know, Christmas, obviously, for the Christmas dinner, and then, of course, for the New Year's parties. And this is a very tough time of the year to have inflation, but we have inflation, to say the least. So be wise in how you spend your money. Look for some sales if you can find any, but it's going to be expensive. Just like Thanksgiving was expensive, Christmas, New Year's is going to be a little bit more expensive this year. Thank you for watching. And if today is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.